up, everyone? Welcome back to the 8th episode of my RuneScape Skiller. Today I finally got 99 fishing, so it just took forever really fishing those rock tails since it is pretty slow XP, but got it done. And then also I have a clip of me selling most of the rock tails and getting a good profit off of them, so happy with that I decided to do the rock tails to make money off of them, since I'm going to need money for other skills. So this is going to be like a follow-up to my previous video. If you guys didn't watch that, I was talking about the PC specs and stuff that I wanted for my new computer and stuff. But before that, just quickly, that my next 99 will be fletching. So I want to get this in about 2 weeks, or even less than 2 weeks right now. I want to get it before November 6th, because if you guys don't know, Black Ops 3 comes out on November 6th, and I am a COD fanboy. And I'm going to be no liking that pretty much, so I want to get fletching out of the way as fast as possible by then. And then once it is November 6th, then I want to do a really AFKable skill like rune crafting at RuneScape, or either smithing at Artisan's Workshop. So I don't know which one I'm really going to do. Artisan's Workshop would be very AFKable for like 4.5 minutes. And then RuneScape, you know, it's easy, it's free, and then eventually I'm going to have to do it. So, might do RuneScape, not really sure right now, but it's going to be one of those skills. So, kind of a follow-up to my PC build that I talked about in my last RuneScape Skiller. Thank you for the feedback in the comments. I did a really bad job of explaining why I wanted those parts and stuff like that. And then also, you guys telling me in the comments what's good or what's bad and stuff like that. And I did make I did make some changes to the PC that I will eventually buy in December, probably really close to Christmas, if not at New Year's. But so the processor I'm gonna get is gonna be the same thing. It's gonna be an i7. To be honest, not sure if it's gonna be the 6700K processor. The only reason I picked that is because it's like one of the newer ones, I believe. Don't cut me on that. I don't know a whole ton about what's the newest processor and whatnot, so it will be a i7, might not be the 6700K. Graphics card is going to stay the same. It's going to be a GTX 970. To be honest, I don't know how it's, some of you guys were saying it's like an overkill for my PC. For RuneScape, yes, you know, I don't need a 970 for my for RuneScape and stuff. That's going to be way too much for it, but I plan on playing other games on the PC whenever I move out next year. So I really want to play H1Z1, so that I think that would be good for H1Z1, play on like max settings with that. Other games as well, not really sure what else, to be honest. I have Counter-Strike downloaded and stuff. I can't play it on this internet, even though that game doesn't even need a good graphics card or anything like that. This PC can actually play just fine on low settings. But, you know, just other games besides RuneScape that I will want to play later on. So I think it's good to get a good PC now before I can't with rent payments and whatnot whenever I do move out. So other than that, my RAM, I decided to actually go down to 8 gigabytes. I completely forgot about the point where you can actually buy more RAM. So I'm going to start with 8, and if I really need 16, then I'll just add up to 16, buying like 2 more 4 gigs or just one 8 gigabyte of RAM. So that's going to save me about like $70 right there. So 8 gigs is like fine for gaming, then 16 is for like video editing and stuff like that. So don't really need that right now. My power supply is going to go down to a 800 or a 850. The reason I picked 1050 on my build that I showed you in that last video of mine was because the 1050 power supply was cheaper than an 800, so I thought, you know, why not just get the higher power supply. So I just went with that. Probably going to be a lot more expensive when I do buy the computer, so it's going to be either 800 or 850. I think that's going to be a good range for the power supply. And then motherboard is going to be completely random. Whatever works for my processor, that's the one I'm going to get. I'm going to make sure, you know, I do get a good amount of storage, I guess, for the motherboard, like a good amount of sockets or the RAM and stuff like that. I don't know what I'm really talking about with the motherboard, so that's going to be random still. Not really sure what I'm going to get for that. And then, is there anything else that I'm missing? I don't think there is. Since from that build right now, I just kind of said reducing the RAM and power supply and stuff like that. Oh, one more thing. Completely forgot about this one. I might not have a SSD on the computer, so that might save me like $100 if I don't. To my understanding, the SSD is only good for your computer turning on really fast, but then also just opening like Photoshop and stuff like that, like other programs really fast. So might not get a SSD on this computer that I have. This one doesn't have a SSD, and it does turn on the computer pretty fast, and then also open programs just fine. So not sure if I'm going to get that. If I don't, I'm going to save a good amount of money from not doing that. So with all the things that I just said, no SSD, 8 gigs of RAM, and my power supply down to a 800 or so. I went back on CyberPower PC and rebuilt it and saved about $250 to $300. So my bill is lower to $1,200 instead of the $1,500 that I showed you in the previous build. So that's good, I guess. But it's still pretty expensive, I guess, since I could easily build my own, but I just don't want to. Don't want to be in the hassle of making it and stuff like that, mess up something. So maybe later on, down the future, down the road or whatever, I'll make like my own and see how that goes. But let me know in the comments if I should get a SSD for this PC. This will probably be the last video I talk about this PC until it actually comes to the time where I will buy it. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this Road to Max Skiller. If you did, make sure to leave a like. Make sure you are subscribed to the channel if you haven't already. You can always follow my Twitter. Link is always down below. And I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.